Headlines: Tony Blair's been rallying support for the war on terror, saying no one should forget the appalling atrocities of September the 11th. The Prime Minister claims there's now a flood of evidence proving Osama bin Laden's guilt. Meanwhile, British Muslims have been calling for an end to the bombing, and in Sheffield, an anti-war protest is gathering pace, with new demonstrations being organised for tomorrow.
It's one of ours as well.
What is this demonstration about?
About the persecution of the Muslims in Afghanistan. Obviously, we're not saying that what happened on the 11th of September is right. It's not. It's completely wrong. But two wrongs don't make a right, and that's what it boils down to. I'm English. I'm proud to be English. I was born and bred in England, and I love this country so much. Yeah, but the way that things are going, I don't feel comfortable here anymore. I'm frightened to come into town on a Saturday afternoon to do my shopping in case somebody attacks me or my children in the street. And I'm not just saying that, you know, because nothing's happened. People have had their scarves ripped off in the streets in Sheffield, and so I don't feel that I want to bring my children up in that type of an environment where they've got to be looking over their shoulder just to go to the local shop. And I know a lot of people who are actually going back to their own countries.
I don't blame them for it.
Oh, that's a good one. An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. OK, well, we better put our one up. It says, two wrongs don't make a right, stop bullying the innocent. In this country, things have become acceptable in society that would have been completely unacceptable morally, like 100 years ago.
Like what?
Such as adultery. Adultery is acceptable nowadays.
Is
it? Yeah, of course it is. People laugh about it, don't they? People think it's funny. Oh, you know, some bloke's gone behind his wife's back and all this. You know, it happens so often. Fornication, well, that's just a complete norm now, isn't it?
What do you mean by that?
Fornication, that's like when two people are together out of marriage. Oh, my cup of tea's here.
It's one thing to disapprove of adultery and promiscuity, but do Amina and Ahmed go along with the punishments?
What crimes would Islamic law punish by public execution?
Murder, obviously. Treason is one of them. Adultery.
Adultery, you get punished by death?
Yeah. If
Do you
it's
think
proven.
that's right?
If it's proven.
You know, if God has given a law, then that's for a good reason. If you look at what's behind the Sharia law, and you can see that it's actually very logical and very sensible.
But you think for someone to just commit adultery, they should die?
Yeah, but just to commit adultery, fair enough, just the act of committing adultery is not a big act, yeah? But if you think of the implications behind the act of adultery that is so detrimental to society, yeah? It breaks up a family, it can affect the emotions of the children for life. It's like a knockdown
Don't you think it would
effect.
affect the emotions of the children to see their mother murdered or executed?
When they grow up, they will know that their mother, she was a nice person, but she did something wrong. It's not allowed in Islam, that.
Like, Islam is really detailed on everything.
Yeah, near enough, yeah. The big things has been sorted.
Does it tell
clear.
you, like, you know, what's sexually okay and not okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's very clear on that.
Yeah,
So
very
what's
clear.
it say you can do and what can't you do?
How do you mean? Like between husband and wife?
Yeah.
Well, they can do anything.
They can do, apart from, you know, one place that the man shouldn't go there.
I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apart from that, everything else is okay.
Yeah, as long as it's reasonable.
As long as it's reasonable.
Yeah.
So does it go into that specific? Like, what's it say?
Obviously, to the extent of you disrespect your partner.
So anything that's consensual?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically. Apart from that particular
place.
Yeah.
The Northern Alliance have captured the Afghan capital of Kabul after the Taliban fled the city. The United States has ruled out any pause in the military campaign in Afghanistan during the holy month of Ramadan. Further bombing raids are to be made against frontline Taliban positions. Specialist US forces are also...
It's Amy's first Ramadan, the month when Muslims fast between sunrise and sunset. Every evening she meets with the University Islamic Society to pray and then break her fast. As prayers get underway, we have a problem. Just like in a mosque, men and women are strictly segregated. So with men on our crew, we're not able to film Amy praying.
Have you asked some of the sisters, have they said no?
They weren't happy with the guys going in the sisters' area. It wasn't about what we were filming.
Yeah, you can't do that either. So.
Could we pull a curtain aside and film from this side, just a shot of Amy?
Just a shot of Amy, yeah, I think we can.
I mean, the thing is, you go to lectures, everywhere you go, you have to mingle with men. But as soon as you come to the prayer room, everybody goes, oh no, gotta keep separate. So what do you do?
Do you find the logic of that aspect of the religion quite hard?
I think no, I don't find it hard. I think it's quite good in a way, because it stops you doing, like, going and getting too close to men and, like, go and have sex and stuff like that, because it leads to that. You get close to a guy. I mean, I've been there. You get friends with a guy, you start talking to him, get closer, you just end up, you know, doing something. And as, like, you know, fornication is not allowed in Islam, then, you know, it's a good thing.
So you're not going to have sex between now and marriage?
No.
Does that make you want to get married quicker?
No. But it would be nice.
A few days later, Amina calls with some startling news. She's emigrating to the Yemen, which right now is on the watch list in the war against terrorism. The Foreign Office is strongly advising Britons not to travel there.
We've decided to take our chances over there, as it were. We're going to try and get a job over there and what have you. So there's so much hatred for Muslims at the moment in Britain that I'm not bothered for myself, but my kids, you know, just in case. You just don't know, do you, what's going to happen.
I suppose in all religions, converts are notoriously zealous, and for all the white Muslim women I've met so far, the rules and regulations of Islam seem to be the dominant issue. But I'd heard about the Sufis, a branch of Islam which emphasises spirituality over rules.
Nice to see you. Oh, do come in. Thank you.
Before converting to Sufi Islam a year ago, Jan was a Christian. She's separated from her husband and has 2 sons who've now left home.
I'm going to the zikr tonight, so I'm looking forward to it. So I said I'd do the food tonight as I was at home.
What's a zikr?
A zikr is a lovely remembrance service where you just say the names of Allah and then eat afterwards. It's
Like
lovely.
such a prayer meeting?
Yes, it is really. Some friends have said that you were a good Christian, so why have you sold out, almost, is what they would imply. And I think my answer to that is, well, I didn't know about the Prophet. And indeed in the Bible, Jesus actually does say somebody will come after me. So I think for me, it hasn't been at all a sellout of my faith, it's been an enriching of my faith. Nearly broke my fast then, did you notice?
No.
But I didn't.
What did you do?
Well, I've got some garlic on my thing and I was just about to lick it up. But I didn't.
There is a lot of rule following, isn't there?
Yes.
Do you like that?
I have no problem at all praying because it brings you in God's presence 5 times a day. What hampers me is fearing I'm going to put a foot wrong with the culture. You know, like if I can't pronounce this properly, if I'm not wearing the right clothes, if I'm not behaving appropriately. As all my friends say, it doesn't mean you have to get all sort of scarved up and walk about, you know, like with a bed sheet on you. Who's going to see you just with your eyes? And I said, no, it isn't like that, you know, because that's cultural, isn't it? To separate the cultural from what the faith is saying. The faith is saying to dress modestly and to cover yourself appropriately and to not dress in a way that is provocative. Cultures interpret that differently, don't they, as we've seen in Afghanistan and various places like that.
But you do things like shake men's hand and
Yes.
be in a room with a man and all of
Yes.
that intermixing.
Yes. I can't see myself making that shift very easily because I'm an English woman. I see men and women. Men and women come to my house. I see men and women at work.
If it is in the Quran that you shouldn't be in the same room as a man on your own who's not family, then...
I feel the way that I deal with that for myself is what your intention is. I just find it really difficult. I really do, and I think that... And I'm still struggling with many aspects of that, and I can't deny it, really. There are issues about the whole thing that you're meant to question, but you can't just go around sort of thinking, well, this is what I think, you know, and it's not fair for women. I think, you know, like looking at what I was like in the 70s to how I am now. My mum and my sister and I went to Greenham Common. I had orange hair that was like 1/4 of an inch all over. I used to wear dungarees. I never burnt my bra. I never did anything like that. I didn't go to that. I thought, what's all this about? But I was a right-on feminist in those days, really. And it was essential. I mean, it wasn't until, the 60s that we could own our own property in England. We could have a bank account without a husband having to sign the cheque. Islamic women have always had those rights. If I stick to what the Quran says to me and what the message is, it's very clear to me that I have total equality. Just do as it says, and nobody can argue with me on that.
Click on screen for more videos of Extraordinary Humans.